Imagine you are on a treasure hunt. You dig and dig, and finally your shovel hits something hard. Your heart races. You have found the treasure chest. You open it, expecting gold, diamonds, and jewels. But instead, it is filled with stacks of green paper. You would be furious. You would say, "This is not treasure. This is just paper." But here is the strange truth. Every single day, we all go to work, we save our money, and we dream about a treasure that is just paper. Or even worse, just numbers blinking on a screen. A phone tap here, a credit card swipe there. It is all digital. It is all fake. So what really happened? When did money stop being real gold and transform into this abstract idea? Short pause, letting the question sink in. It happened on one specific day, a day that changed the economic future of the entire world. August 15th, 1971. Mark that date. It is the day the global financial system as we knew it ended. To understand this massive shift, we have to travel way back in time. For thousands of years, humans used real money, things you could hold, use, or even eat. Think rocks, salt, or fish. But carrying a fish in your pocket is messy and it smells bad. So, humanity switched to gold and silver. These metals were rare, they were beautiful, and they lasted forever. They were the perfect form of treasure. Gold was the ultimate store of value. It was real wealth you could hold in your hand. However, gold is heavy and dangerous to carry around. So, people started leaving their gold with a bank for safekeeping. The bank would give you a receipt, a simple piece of paper that said, "I promise to give you back your gold anytime you ask." Then, a magic trick happened. People stopped trading the heavy gold. They just traded the lightweight receipts. They trusted the promise written on that paper. That is what paper money used to be. It was not the wealth itself. It was a claim check, a promise for real treasure. If you had a $10 bill in your pocket, the government legally promised to give you $10 worth of gold from their reserves. This system was called the gold standard. The money in your pocket was fake, but it stood for something undeniably real sitting in a vault. For almost 100 years, this system worked. It created stability and trust in the currency. But trust, as we will see, is a fragile thing. Then came World War II. While Europe and Asia were devastated, America emerged as the economic superpower. Everyone needed American goods, and to buy American, you needed American dollars. By the end of the war, the United States held most of the world's gold. Fort Knox, the U.S. gold depository, was literally bursting at the seams. Other countries thought it is safer to just use U.S. dollars instead of hauling gold around. They trusted America to keep its promise to back those dollars with gold. But holding someone else's money always comes with a seed of doubt. Fast forward to the 1960s. America was spending heavily on the Vietnam War and new social programs. To pay for it all, they simply printed more and more dollars. But there was a massive problem. They were printing more promises than they had gold to back them up. The gap between the paper and the treasure was growing dangerously wide. France noticed this first. Their economists realized, if the US keeps printing, our dollars are losing value. We want the real thing. We want the gold. So, they sent ships and planes. They took their paper dollars and presented them to the US Treasury with a simple demand. Give us our gold. And by law, the US had to comply. They loaded gold bars onto the boats and sent them back to France. Soon, other countries saw what France was doing. Switzerland, Germany. They all lined up, wanting their gold back too. The US gold reserves began to shrink rapidly. The vaults were emptying. The promise that held the global economy together was about to shatter. Panic started to set in. Not on the streets, but in the highest corridors of power. The system was failing. Something had to be done. And fast. So, on that specific day in 1971, President Richard Nixon made a decision that would echo through history. August 15th, a Sunday night, he went on national television. He announced a series of executive orders to fix the economy. But buried in the middle of his speech was the big one, the shock. He looked into the camera and delivered the news that changed everything. He closed the gold window. He ordered the Treasury to stop exchanging dollars for gold. Slam. Just like that, the promise was broken. President Nixon ended the gold standard. The dollar was no longer backed by anything physical. You could no longer trade your paper money for real treasure. The link between paper and gold was severed. From that moment forward, your money was not a claim check for something real. It became just money. A piece of green paper. Its only value was the collective agreement we all shared. We all agreed it had value. That is it. That is all. Money officially became fiat currency. Fiat is a Latin word meaning let it be done or a decree. As in, we declare this to be money, just be, because we said so. Think of it like this. When money was tied to gold, it was like a balloon tied to a heavy chair. It had weight, it had anchor, it could not float away. On August 15, 1971, we cut the string. So, what happened after the string was cut? The balloon floated away. This economic phenomenon is called inflation. The currency starts to lose its purchasing power. When money is not tied to anything real, the government can just print more of it. When there is more money chasing the same amount of goods, the prices of those goods go up. Your dollar buys less. Your savings in the bank buy less. The treasure chest you worked so hard to fill slowly gets emptier, even if the number on the paper stays the same. Here is the final, mind-bending truth of this story. The day money became fake, it did not actually change anything in your pocket right away. It still works today, because we all collectively believe it works. That belief is the only engine running the machine. You believe the coffee shop will take your digital payment. The coffee shop believes their supplier will accept the same dollars. It is the biggest trust exercise, the biggest team sport in the history of humanity. The lesson here is not that money is meaningless. The lesson is that its meaning comes from us, from our shared trust in each other and in our institutions. So, the next time you tap your phone to pay for a coffee, or swipe your card at the grocery store, remember this story. You are not handing over a piece of treasure. You are handing over a piece of a collective promise. A promise that the whole world is in on together. And that is the story of the day money became fake.